I might be early. Yeah, I've been known to show up a little early. Oh, who do we got here? Frank, Terry, Fret Level, Caffeine, Terry, Rich, Strat, Tom, Ian Nunez, Terry, Frank C, Rich, Strat CPO, Tonosaurus, Christian, Music Sound Gear, Larry John, Star Guitar Works, John Banks, Juan Blanco, Guitar Man 45, Gary Davlin, Matthew Baker, Robert Clark, Ben Coombs, from Canada, that Ben Coombs, Crop Duster, Clockwork DG, James, ADG, Postal Freddy. We got a few people here. It's 8:45 in Milford. What's up, Landon? Landon Bailey's here. You got Jeff. You got Rich. You got Vin. You got James. Cyanide Junkie, all the regulars. How goes it? It goes good. What's up, Christopher? Canadian Deplorable. Tony. There was never a more labored riff. Hey, what's up, Ron? Ron Paget, Troy. I think I saw Paul. And Pete Brown. Ed Axman. Get those up? I got those up. We have a Cara Tactical 6-string. Texas Bootlegger. Jeff K. Johnny R. Kramer. Not to be confused. Max Josephson. What's up, Larry George? What's up, Sailor Mike? Yeah, we got quite the crew. Pete's up in Chicago. What's up, James? Curtis? Rich Cardinale. Jay Jennings. OH. Silliness. What's up, Dragon Model? James says he just got the Harley Benton SC Junior. Chunky monkey, but very tight. There you go. It's nice, but the flawless Blackie Lawless. Yeah. Blackie Flawless. I have not scheduled the barber appointment yet. They said 3 weeks. The official, I thought it was 2 weeks after the second one, but now I'm getting told it's 3 weeks. I was like, okay. So maybe after that, we'll see. I don't know, maybe I like long hair. It's annoying a lot of people, which there's always that. What's up, Guitar Low? Frank Spear. Came from the moon, UK in the house. Friedman mini announcement. No, please tell me. What's up, Rob? Hot shot. guitar sounds great. What's up, Robert? Down in Greensboro, North Carolina. It's nice, but Flawless Black is where it's at. I don't know that one. Is that the other color for this guitar? I'll call you Gino. You're a bit early. I am. I thought it was 14 days. You're telling me it's like 21. That's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm hearing. It was 21 between my shots, too, so I wonder if they... That's what I'm hearing now. They're like, oh, no, it's 21 days, and then you're good. Well, okay. What's up, Charlie? What's up, Chad in Murfreesboro? I've actually been there. I think I think that's where my hotel was, like the first time I went to Summer NAMM. It was cheap. It was like, like $90 a night. Versus like, $350 a night, like downtown. What's up, Henry? Oh, man. Something in my eye. Yeah, we got at least one cat right there. I have the window open. It could attract more cats. For sure. Shot number 2 for you tomorrow. Good. Good. I didn't, other than a little bit of sore arm, that was about it for me. So, good luck for you. People are very different on the second shot, I think, more than the first. Steve is Henning right about that Harley Benton being very different from a Les Paul clone. I would agree. It doesn't quite... First of all, that's red, not... the sun was out. Let me see if I can bring this up on... So the sun was out earlier. Let me see if I can go down here. See, it's really red. See that? You go to this cam. Right, that's in sunlight. You can see how red it is. See? That's in like full sunlight. But of course, in regular light, it looks black. But it's really dark, 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 dark red. What's up, James? What's up, Paul? In Ben Coombs' backyard. Ben, do you know about that? Got your second today, no After Effects. Yeah, I had like almost next to nothing, so I was pretty... I had worked myself into a lather. Mentally, it was it was Al Capone's vault, you know what I'm saying? Right, it's Y2K all over again. fabulous indoor restaurant down here tonight. It's fabulous. Oh, I know, right? That's what I really miss. I'm finally getting to the point where I do kind of miss going out for food. Sick of the takeout. Want to go sit down and go, bring food to the table. What's up, Coots? Exactly, Ben. What's the price point on the Harley? Unobtainable. Apparently, it is now a full-on collectible. What happened? So we might as well get into it. We're a good 9 minutes into this. Harley Benton recently came out with this guitar. I mean, like literally just a few weeks ago. It was the latest thing. One of the first people to get it. You can kind of time it by, I think, Henning's video. He was one of the first people to have a video for the guitar up there, and then I got one, and a few people got them, and we did videos about them, right? And all of a sudden, people are going, hey man, that guitar is like discontinued. And so I go to my link for it, and it's not discontinued. It just says it's out of stock, and there's a huge difference between being discontinued and just being out of stock, right? I was like, no, it looks like it's just out of stock. Don't even worry about it. It's just out of stock. And it'll come back in stock at some point, and you can, buy it then. But then more and more people were coming and saying, no, seriously, it's like gone. And I was like, really? And so I went back again, and this time I got a different result. This time when I clicked on the link, it didn't bring me to the page and said, this item is out of stock, order now for delivery in, 6 to 8 weeks or whatever. It was like, we're sorry, this item is now unavailable. Look at one of these other wonderful items. And they have like a whole bunch of guitars underneath it. And I was like, wow, it really is gone. And so I don't know. I haven't really heard from anyone in Harley Benton. I don't have any inside information for you. But my guess is that when they went to re-up for it, they found out it sold out very quickly. Their stock sold out very, very quickly. And I think when they went back to like re-up and reorder, they probably got word that it was going to be a while. And they didn't want to have stock hanging out there on the website for like longer than 6 months or something like that, right? So they probably just put the SKU on hold, I think, until they can really secure like another round of it. I would assume it's a great guitar. If you got one, you should consider yourself lucky, because I don't know when or if they're going to be back in stock. Nice veneer top. And it was just so abrupt. So I'm going to reach out to my Harley Benton guy and say, what happened, brah? I don't know if they're going to even tell me, but I can at least ask. But it wasn't confirmed until just a few days ago, where I was like, really is kind of gone now. Before that, it was up there. It was just out of stock. That's all. It does have nice knobs. Good call. I don't think Gibson can go after him on this. I don't think it's close enough. The shape is definitely different. You know what I'm saying? And this shape has been used by countless people. There's a very roller coaster sort of top. And the extra sharp tip, right? If I had to guess, I would say that that wasn't the issue. I think probably the issue is they just can't get it made. Unless you think the headstock was too close. I don't know. They have that headstock on a bunch of guitars for a long time, and those guitars are still up there. So I don't think it's the headstock, and this exact shape is on other guitars. And those guitars are up there. So again, I don't think it's the shape. I just think that they're having trouble getting like this exact guitar made within like a certain time period. So they're like, you know what, we'll just take the SKU down and let's see if we can fulfill this order, you know, at some point in the future. That's again, I'm sort of guessing. I haven't heard from them. Exactly, John. Collector's item now. Steve, I ordered a high-end corporate, arrived in really bad shape. Oh, that sucks. Unfinished frets. And put Jack Lewis. I hate that dry neck. Which is your experience with them was just plain unlucky. You know, I haven't really owned a lot of Cort. Although I gotta think this is made by Cort. This is made in Indonesia. I mean, who's making guitars in Indonesia other than Cort? They seem to be like pretty much the biggest maker. Uh-oh, I'm hearing movement. What? Cry. Oh. Come here. Oh, you're a good kitty. What are you doing? Martinez threatened to sue, put them on notice. Really? Is that true, or are you just guessing that? Does it play better to you than the white epi on the wall? Well, they're very different necks. This is a much rounder neck. That neck's a lot flatter on the back. And that guitar is a lot heavier than this guitar. Probably about 1.5 pounds heavier. And the EMG sound different. And it's tough to compare. Yeah, apparently the bridge design isn't patented because that tunematic, my God, you see that by so many, you know. Am I still using THU? I am. This is that Silver Jubilee. The Jubilee. I don't know. Buddy might make an appearance because I don't know that anyone else is home. I think other people went out. What, hon bun? What? Yeah. Oh, I know. What's the play? love the pickups in this. They sound so good. Frankie neck is taking some time. I actually talked to them about the Frankie neck a couple of days ago. They're saying like maybe next week. I asked them to stain it. And they were having some trouble like between the frets. But they said, don't worry, they'll get it figured out. All right. What's up, Ricky? I'm jamming with myself. Yeah, it's next week. It's always next week. They said that 10 weeks ago. So Harley Benton guitar better than the Epiphone. Oh, we were just talking about that. No, very different. Very different. The one difference between these two guitars, you can buy that one. So in that sense, like whether one is better than the other is a bit of a moot point. You didn't know Leslie West died? Yeah, I know. Oh, Jesus. Was it January? It sounds better than your $15,000 PRS double neck. I was down between those two. It was either the Harley Benton or the PRS custom shop double neck, you know, wood library, you know, Paul's Dinner model, and I went with this. Oh, the mini Les Paul. Yeah, you know what? I got to change the tuners in that. The tuners that are in it are they're kind of rough. So it's hard to keep it in tune. But I actually have replacement tuners for it. It just has to make its way over to the bench at some point. Steve, but Epiphone guitars are close to Gibson. You know, they're very different in how they're made, right, in terms of, like, the finishes. But in terms of wood, they're very similar. You know, that has ebony and mahogany. Difference is it doesn't have the maple cap underneath like the American one would. There's a little difference there. And, of course, the American one's going to have lacquer instead of poly. It's going to have different electronics. It's going to have different pickups. It's going to have different tuners. I mean, just from head to toe. And this is a lot more machine made. And the custom would be almost completely handmade. The red Wolfgang is a Wolfgang Standard 2017. That's the Ferrari red. I want to say 2017 was the year they did that color. Take the HP over Murphy Labs LP. Well, they're very similar. You know, the big difference is about $8,000. What's up, Vince? I'm doing well. Welcome. Welcome. No, that's not a PV. That's a EVH. So I don't think PV's had the brand since probably 5 years now. When did that's 2017? So when did they get the brand? I want to say the EVH brand started in like 2013. Yeah, 2011, 2010. That sounds about right. PV stopped making guitars in 2004. Yeah, it's been. I feel like, I don't know. I just feel like I don't know what's up with PV. I just feel like I don't know that Harley PV wants the company to continue without him. Take time to wrap it up. What's up, Absolute Mayhem and Wise Guy? An old Court Katana, decent guitar, Mighty Might pickups, PRS neck through style. Yeah. Yeah, I'm with BC Rich. I think Pagey's doing fine. It's Clapton, I think, that's had more health problems. Steve, doing a computer build, what chip would you recommend to run THU in a low-level DAW? You know what? As long as you're not really doing anything powerful, I personally, for that level of strength, I would get the latest 11th gen Intel i3, like the 11100 or something like that, whatever it is, or the 11300, I forget the exact. It's really ranked up there as like one of the best, price. And you know what? Even the i5 is like price. Intel has slashed their prices, right? Because they're really under threat from AMD right now. So AMD is crushing it with gaming, but you're not gaming, right? You're doing DAW work. So you don't need like the bleeding edge, like top of the line, cutting edge processor, and you'll pay for it in both heat and money. And in fact, a lot of those are kind of hard to obtain, so the market's really shot up. Intel, on the other hand, has gotten a very cool reception to their latest chips, and they've become a bit of a meme, and they've become a little toxic right now. But the bottom line is that, so people, as a status symbol, people don't want Intel. It's so funny how that has changed from AMD, a few years ago. It's really flipped. But it doesn't mean that the chip isn't actually pretty damn good. And especially that latest iteration. And they're, I think, way undervalued right now in terms of what they're asking for them, because they know they have a sort of a, an optics problem right now at Intel. You could spend $115 to $120 on a chip and get a pretty smoking chip. Get a quad core 8-thread chip with like UHD 750 graphics, or at the very least 630. Right out of the gate. You don't even have to buy a separate video card if you want to keep your costs down. Because right now, RAM prices are through the roof. Right? What I paid for, so I paid a couple years ago, March of 2019, I paid $176 for 32 gigs of RAM. By this past November, right, December, that was down to $104 for the same exact product, same SKU, 32 gigs of RAM, double set of 16s on Amazon. Right now, that's $196. It's blown even past what I paid 2 years ago. So right now, RAM prices are a bit high. Video card prices are through the roof. But if you just want a simple system, I would get like an i3 11th gen. You're going to get the latest of everything. It's going to run pretty cool. It's not going to be your best gaming box, but who cares? That's not what you're doing. And it's going to crush for what you need it to do, which is play, some guitar crap, and that's about it, and some DAW work. Audio processing is not that crazy intensive. Have I seen the Larry Basillo SIG? I have. It looks amazing. Kind of sparkly. Paid $4,000 for a 486 DX. I know a dude who paid $5,000 for a Pentium. I want to say it was the P60. And for like a year, not even a year later, I got a P75 for like $1,800, and he couldn't believe it. He's like, dude, I just got ganked on that Pentium. So I said, well, you wanted the first damn Pentium out there. Right now, I'm thinking about upgrading my networking backbone, which is, it's complicated. It depends on how much into I could very just simply lay down Cat 7, right? But I think I'm going fiber optic, and that gives a lot of choices, and I have to figure out exactly what I'm doing. And I want to set up a wall plate with a keystone and everything, so I just got to work it all through. But we'll get there. Run a couple of new switches, and I should be good to go. 10 Gs. What's up, JP? Good old JP. Wouldn't gosh, you driving that much, you had a new Pentium, yeah. Well, back then, you had to drop the Benjamins for the Pentiums. Of course, he bought it like the week it came out. And in fact, that first one had problems, right? He had the math flaw in his. Right now, I think that the minimum processor you need to get is something that has either AVX or AVX2 instructions, because there is audio software out there that will take advantage of it. There's software that will absolutely take advantage of that AVX, and some of them even require it, because it came out in like 2013 or 2014. So yeah, you got to have like AVX. That's huge. Oh, one other thing I wanted to mention before I forget it. If you're at all interested in that Henning drum course, I have a link in the description. Tomorrow is the last day. It's on sale tonight and tomorrow. I think it ends at midnight tomorrow. So you have until 11:59 p.m. I've gone through quite a bit of it now that I've had it like another week. I've gone through a few more videos, and you can get a drum course from anywhere, but one with Henning, oh, it's special. You know, he's a lot of fun, and he's unknowingly funny. He's unwittingly funny, and that's what's so awesome about. And he covers everything. I will say it is a German level of thoroughness. He's very thorough. So he covers it all, and then some. So if you were interested in that, before I forgot, I just wanted to mention it because I knew that they were sort of talking about it on Facebook earlier. We were saying, hey, when does the sale end? And it's tomorrow at like midnight. Your Pentium Pro 100 so fast. Yeah, I think I might have had a DX2 or maybe even a DX4, right? That was a lame one. DX4. God. I definitely had a DX266, though, for a while. DX266. He's a lot of something, exactly. You had an Amiga 1200. I tried the 1200, didn't like it. I went running back to my Amiga 3000. I love the 3000. That was my favorite Amiga. I don't have the 88 radius kicking around anymore. I sold that to well, I sold one to Bobby, and I sold one to Krellbar. And they're gone. Once I got the whatchamacallit there, the RGC, the custom, the J custom, you know. It's like once you've scaled Everest, right, it all just pales in comparison. Yamaha GW33, I don't think I have. First 4X CD burner. Oh my God. I worked in IT at this place, and those guys there figured out they could store a lot of crap on those CDs, and my God, IT. Everybody wanted us to burn stuff to CD. And it took forever back then. And you had to like finalize the disc. Oh my God, what a nightmare. Got a highly modified A1200. I just run Win UAE when I'm feeling nostalgic. Throw up a game of Menace, or like Shadow of the Beast 2 with 10 pints. DX4100. Yeah, I think the Pentium was pretty strong. It depended on the configuration. Yeah, buffer underrun. Oh my God. Buffer underrun. Jeez, I forgot about that. Well, you get. Does anybody remember? Yeah, no, right. If you could even get him to burn, right? I know, buffer underrun. Anybody remember? What was it? Guru Meditations. God. Like you hadn't saved in 20 minutes, and all of a sudden you notice the power light starting to blink. You're like, oh, here we go. Nothing works. Mouse freezes. Here we go. Guru Meditation. I do remember manually configuring IRQs. And hard drives, right? You had to set it up in a configuration, right? Master slave, or else they'd bump into each other, right? Had to be addressed. Yeah, I had a preview. I had Windows 95 like a few months before it was released. And I remember loading it for the first time and being like, "Oh my god, it was like such a change from installing Windows, 3.1." And it was like, "Oh my god." And then Windows 98, Windows 98 second edition, Windows ME, which was a colossal fail and should have been. It was a terrible operating system. Windows 2000 was good. Windows XP was fantastic, like pretty much their flagship for the longest time. And then Windows Vista was actually good as long as you had decent hardware. I had plenty of hardware. Vista always worked fine for me. I used to say, what is the problem with people with Vista? Here's the problem. They okayed some of these crap systems at like Circuit City, right? Those old, like, what were they called? Like E-machines, right? Your Packard Bells, right? All this crap. And they weren't really ready for it, but they okayed it anyway. And of course, they ran like garbage because they couldn't really run. They didn't have the right horsepower. It was a whole new video system, and quite frankly, it was way ahead of its time. And they got better with Windows 7 in terms of how to package it. And then, of course, Windows 8 comes along, and they completely shoot themselves, in the dick all over again. It's like, what is wrong with you? And then, of course, they redeem themselves again with Windows 10. Oh, the roller coaster that is Windows. Yeah, Cool-Headed Pro, which was bought by, wasn't it bought by Adobe, right? Yeah, no, Vista wasn't terrible as long as you had really decent hardware, and I just happen to have a pretty powerful video card. Worked great. Oh, the Metro UI was just garbage, and the tiles, oh my god, just a night. Got rid of the start menu. It's like just completely horrible. I tried Linux. The problem with Linux is they don't have the hardware support. You're waiting on somebody in a forum to write your driver. Yeah, OS2. I think I had OS2 Warp. Yeah, OS2 Warp. It was coming. Might have been right around the time because Windows 95 was delayed again, or I forget. Yeah, Windows 7 was an apology for Vista. Yeah. BOS. Oh my God. I've installed BOS a few times. Oh yeah. Oh my God, BOS. Yep. You'd install it and you go, all right. Now what? Had no apps. But it had the promise, right? BOS. Oh my God. Still keep Windows 98 Second Edition around for DOS game. It's funny, I installed Windows 98 Second Edition on a PC a few years ago. I found it, and it was like still in the box. I said, oh, you know what, I'm going to load it up. Oh my God, forgot what a pain in the ass it was to install it. I was like, all right, I have to set my partitions, and I do remember the Next machines, would have like 4 megs of RAM. I was like, what? PCs are at like trying to break the 640K barrier. It was Gates who said, who would ever need more than 640K of RAM? For what? Oh yeah, cattail. Yeah, Next, I think, essentially morphed into OS X, right? OS 10 on the Mac, right? When it became... Remember they kept saying, oh, it's based on Unix? That's what Next was. Also based on Unix. I think it was just that ported over. Yeah, like right now, I'm looking at like trying to figure out whether I want to use like OM4 or OM5 for my fiber. My gut says just use the latest thing, even if you can't run as far, because it still will do it, and at least you'll be that much more future-proof, even though it's more expensive and has a hard cutoff. But it wouldn't be too bad if I'm just running it right up and putting a keystone in the wall, right, and then just doing a fiber-to-fiber junction. It should work. And in fact, a lot of times you'll see people on there saying, like, I was stunned because they'll do signal testing, right, like raw signal testing between the 2 points, and they're like, no signal loss. They were expecting 1 or 2 dB of signal loss. We had 0. So it should work. I remember teaching at Avid, right? Remember, Avid Technologies? So I was teaching them HTML, and I'm at their campus in Massachusetts. And you walk in, there's a huge showcase of like Oscars and Emmys. I've won all these technical awards. And they bring us out to like this like giant shipping room, like warehouse, like not in the main building. And they had all these Macs set up in a big training circle, like in the middle of this big warehouse, with all these pallets like wrapped up with plastic everywhere. And I was teaching. They were all Mac Quadras, and it makes sort of like a zoink sound, like oink, right, when it reboots. And I swear to God, it was like the cicadas had come. It's an oink, like every so often you did boink, look over and someone else had bombed out. Those Quadras were not reliable. Cool. Today's Tech Talk. Just built a computer today for the first time in 10 years. Oh, nice. Yeah, nice Tandy from Radio Shark. Radio Shark. Well, a friend of mine posted an oscilloscope the other day. I was like, oh my God, that's bringing me back. Who remembers like Lafayette Electronics, right? And would go there, and they'd have Heath kits and oscilloscopes, and eventually they got into stereo equipment, but they started out with, like, those, builder kits, right, where you make your own electronics board, right, 100 project kits and all kinds of things, like, build your own signal booster, build your own this. They just brought me back to that place. My God, you could build Heath kit. Well, you could build an oscilloscope for like $70, $100. Still guitars in your closet? Well, I've had to wear a suit for many years. Oh my God, CompuServe, Prodigy. Those are the early years. Bix. Anyone else remember Bix? I was more of a Bix man myself. Yeah, you do electronics. Finally moved on from the XG1000. It's a good card. God, just PC's too noisy. You have to pay licensing to open. I don't think so, because what you do is you use a converter, right? A transducer. It's a fiber to SPF plus, and it should work. I should be able to just plug it in and get 10G right out of it. No problem. And then the question is do I just drop a cable down here, or do I bring a cable down here? Because you can't make your own cable with fiber, right? It's wrapped too tightly. There's too much of a manufacturing process going on there. But I could bring the cable down here, and what they do is they have a double socket, right? And all it does is butt the two pieces of fiber against each other so that the light passes through. And so you just literally plug it into the back. Something I would never do with Cat 6, right? I'd punch it down. But there's no doing that with this. You bring it into the back, and you clip it in, and then you just bring a front in and clip it in. And then what I could do is, hold on, let me see if I can find it here. Let me show you what I'm looking at. I'll call it up before, so you won't have to watch me go surfing for it here. Right, there's that. No, that's not it. That is not what I'm looking for. There we go. There we go. And there we go. All right. I should be able to manage this. Let's see. There you go. So that's a 10-port switch. These first four right here are like 1 gigabit. These two are 2.5 gigabit. These two are 2.5 gigabit and 5 gigabit. And these two are 10 gigabit. Now, they do have a copper one, but I'm not convinced that the copper is a long-term solution. So what I'd use is this SPF Plus right here. And to connect to it, I would use that, right? A couple of little transducers, and you can see where the fiber optic goes in, and there's your fiber optic cable. You're plugging that in, running it upstairs, downstairs. You have a nice little patch panel. Run a patch panel in the back. You run that, and then you run a keystone and you know, up at the, and there you go, right? A multi-mode fiber coupler, LC to LC, duplex multi-mode. There you go. And you just run that there. And then I should have a nice 10 gigabit backplane, expandable to like 100 gigabit in the future. If I that's where the 7G I don't think can get, right? Cat 7. I think you're maxed out at 40 with the Cat 7. You know, I just think sticking with, you know, with fiber, you know, is the way to go. So anyway. Steve, the IT guy, exactly. It's some nice looking fiber you got there. Look at you. Let me get a little patch panel. That's really where it happens. And set that up in the attic. So I'd get two of these, right? I'd get two of these. I'd set one up in the attic and one down here. I'd run, you know, I'd run the Wi-Fi's through the 10100. I mean the gigabit, because that's where it maxes out. My new PC and my other PC in the attic can both do 2.5G, and I'd probably get a 2.5G for the server, right? Like a PCI card, and you know, and then I'd have a big backplane for like when we have like 3 or 4 video calls, and it's a smart switch, so I can go into it and I can say, you know, give video protocols priority, give voice over IP priority, and that way, you know, when we're on video calls, you know, they get a little bit of priority. Anyway. Mr. Aljon, what's up, buddy? How do you do pinch harmonics every time? A little bit of pixie dust. It's choking up. And then upstroke. A little more to the side. They chime a little different. You almost hear the undertones more. Oh, dude, I know those days. I remember punching the screen on my old computer because you couldn't get a bid in on eBay, right? Yeah, because the connection is so slow. It's like you had to make your bid like 40 seconds early just so it would like register and hope someone didn't beat you. Yeah, no, I've been there. I know exactly what you're saying. But I was really early on the cable modem. I got my cable modem January 2nd, so or January 3rd. Because I want to say, oh no, because I think the first was a Monday, right? New Year's Eve was like a Sunday, and they showed up on the next day because they had the day off, right? They showed up like the next day. It was January 2nd, 1996, the first day of availability in my town. I had scheduled it like 2 weeks earlier. And that day, we had a cold front come through. That poor bastard up on the pole, wiring that cable. I felt so bad. Oh my God. That wind was whipping. And it was, I don't know, 10 or 15 degrees, you know, with the wind chill probably 0. Have a good one, friends. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, one fiber port and the rest is copper. Yeah. So really, to have the switches talk to each other, you use the fiber. I mean, you could use the copper 10G, but I just think the fiber, I mean, if I'm going to string a cable between, you know, the attic and the basement, I'm not going copper. I'm going fiber. Oh, thanks, Copperfield. Hey, Steve, here's to you and all that you do. Makes my day. Oh, thanks, buddy. Well, thank you. Got a cable modem in 2002. Yeah, we were the... what's up, Tim Duke? Yeah, 96. And we had 1.5 megabit. You know, and I want to say 30K on the up. The up was significantly less. Or 150K. 30K, I thought. Then they finally upped it to like 150K. Now we're on gigabit symmetrical. And that's the thing. The other thing is, like, I can't ever really max out my gigabit fiber connection because my internal backbone is, you know, it maxes out at a gigabit as well. So in order for me to get a gigabit, you actually have to be a little bit more than that, like in front of that. You see what I'm saying? All right, for the overhead. I know we're still doing the I will say that we're still doing the whatchamacallit there, the Starbucks, you know, French roast, because it's on sale, $5 off at Costco this week. That puts it at like $12 for 3 pounds. That's pretty good. Oh, I had a 56K modem. God, I had a 14K modem. I might have started out with a 300 baud modem. I remember getting like a 9600 and going, take that, bitches, 9600 baud. 56K modem. That was years before I got a 56K modem. Yeah, 2400 baud. Yeah. 2400 baud, 9600 baud, which was a joke. You could never even get that. 33K connection for a long time, yeah. Yep, worked for IBM, got a 300 baud modem. I remember the 300 baud modem. Damn. That was Bix years. And that was probably an IBM PC running Bix. Could have been an Amiga. Well, the worst was when you got call waiting and you realized that people could call you and interrupt your online. And you're like, 10 minutes away from a 45-minute download of a 1 meg file. You're like, and, your connection breaks because someone called you and you had to realize you had to get rid of that before you made your call out. Oh, my God, the nightmares. What we used to put up with, Yeah, Mac and PC Zone, yeah. I tell you, people used to go to classes at CompUSA. I used to work for a computer company that did it. I used to teach everywhere. At DEC. I taught at Bose, Texas Instruments, Digital Equipment Corp, AGFA, Avid, BASF, and then like a whole bunch of like our in-house stuff. In other words, we didn't go on site. Who was the big one? Who's the big storage company? Oh my God. Who's the not Iron Mountain, although we probably did teach Iron Mountain. Who's the other one? Who's the big storage company? Might have been, oh God. I can't think of it right now. Someone will mention it. Original product managers at a Max Zone. EMC. Thank you. EMC. Yes. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, EMC. EMC. Got it right. Yeah. That was it. Yep. Down there teaching middle-aged women how to use PowerPoint. Being at DEC and seeing a helicopter land with executives in it on the heliport. It's nice. And then a buddy of mine used to work, God, that was in 86. We were both in college, and he worked for corporate software, which was huge. I remember being over there at like midnight, right, and watching an enormous dot matrix printer print out invoices that he had to like tear apart and like collate. And oh my God, the billing he had to do. And I'm sitting there watching all the names go by. The United States House of Representatives, MTV, Music Television, right? I mean, like the names that would go by, Bank of America, Bank of Boston, like, the state of Massachusetts. This is all in just like one night. I'm like, my God, this list is like, and every single invoice is thousands and thousands of dollars in software, all done through purchase order, requisitions. Oh my God, that place And their biggest um, competition was Egghead. Remember Egghead software? They used to obsess about Egghead, and they'd be like, well, you know, we're corporate software, and they're Egghead software, and, you know, they're more consumer, and we're more private. I think they merged at one point, and then they both went under. Remember Computer City? Forget CompUSA. Who remembers Computer City? With the yellow logo? Yeah, Tech was in Maynard. That's where it was. It was in Maynard. Yeah. And I would also teach at, I want to say it was in Bedford at like some big federal building. Yeah, Egghead Babbage's. Babbage's was a little later. I really remember Egghead more than Babbage's. But Computer City, God, that place. I remember getting in fights with them and calling up corporate and browbeating them, and I'd get them to call the store and get my way. Oh God, I was a man on fire back then. I have calmed down quite a bit. Oh God, I remember at Computer City, I made him call corporate. I said, I just got off the phone with him. He's like, what? You know, I had beat him down to the point. He was like, dude, I don't even care at this point. Whatever. Like that's all I need to hear. Let's do it. Yeah, the TRS-80. Remember those? They were so ridiculously expensive, and they were so ridiculously underpowered. Those are the days where you could spend, you know, $1,200, you know, which is like $6,000 in today's money. And it would be like just completely destroyed by the next thing that was half the money next year, 4 times the power. Those were tough years to be a computer enthusiast. You got beat down pretty bad pretty quickly. Micro Warehouse, yeah, that's another one. Yeah, I remember a Commodore 64, and I remember we got one of those 64s, and it was all just like sort of like whatever. But I remember my dad got the disc reader instead of the cassette reader, which was infinitely faster than that friggin' cassette reader. And he got a bunch of software because he was way into it, and he got a dot matrix printer. And I had a book report due in like high school, and I had to write this paper. And I hated typing. And I just remember saying, like, wait a second, I think he got a word processor. And I remember just like the shocking moment, like when I went down there and typed it up, and I would get to the end and it would just automatically move the word to the next line. And I was like, oh my God, this is incredible. And I could just go back and save it and look at it. And, oh my, it was like such a breakthrough. And I remember printing that out and turning it in. And the teacher being like, oh, look at you with the fancy computer, which of course looked like crap compared to a typewriter. And that was probably 84. And then I had it and then in 85, we got an IBM PC that my dad bought out of the trunk of a car in Rhode Island on Atwell's Ave for about $200. Well, Lord knows where that came from. And that was an IBM PC. And just a PC. And I didn't even have an operating system, nothing. But I was in college at the time, and I was taking a computer course, and I told the guy, I said, hey, I just got a PC. He goes, oh, I'll give you a copy of DOS. And then I went out and I went to a computer store, and I bought like a piece of like Word processing software, which was actually pretty good. It was like, Word King or some crap. And we had another printer, like a different type of printer that was like one of those daisy wheel ones, and it worked. I got them to talk to each other. And I remember doing my papers on that in the middle of the night and pressing print, and that thing at 2 a.m. going like bang, 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 like, oh my God. Like, it was a lot louder than the friggin' dot matrix printer. The dot matrix printer was like, this thing was banging a friggin' daisy wheel. Oh my God, that thing was loud. Yeah, Federal Hill. My dad had a bar room there on Carpenter Street, which is like 1 or 2 streets over. What's up, Blackjack? It's Just Me, ours, Harley, Benton Copying Companies. Oh, yeah, dude, that's all they do. That's what they do. That's their whole thing. They make a low-cost copy of a famous guitar. They pretty much do it for every brand. They copied friggin' Pete Thorne's guitar. Any guitar that they think is sort of like hot, they'll make a copy of it. It won't be exactly the same, but, it'll have the same sort of vibe. And cost between like half, 1/3. I remember selling IBM PC XTs with turbo button, 10 meg hard drives. That sounds about right. I want to say my first hard drive was like a 30 meg. I was killing it. Look at that, 30 megs. Look at you. $386. You're loaded. I had a PC XT, which was just pretty much a PC, but it had 2 drives. It was a 5150. I didn't buy an Amiga until they finally came out with the 500 and the 2000. I thought the Amiga 1000 was just too unstable, But when they came out with their second gen, the 2000 and the 500, much better ROMs, right? The Kickstarter ROMs are much more stable. And I used that 500 for years. I bought what I get? I got an Amiga. Not Amiga, Hewlett Packard DeskJet, like the first one, cost me like $499 in like 1988 or 89. Very expensive proposition, but it looked good, and it wasn't bang, 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 bang. Every time you printed it out at 2 o'clock in the morning for a paper due the next morning, and yeah, that worked for a while. The 500 was unstable though. I used to get Guru Meditations all the time. It's like I had to do all these workarounds to get it to work correctly. That computer was not a very stable. You're working with you're sitting there waiting for things to load forever. When I finally got an Amiga 3000 and it had a hard drive in it, oh my God, it was like night and day. Packard Bell, packaged hell, we used to call them. Oh my God, the video toaster. I had a friend of mine, he was obsessed. He had one in his Amiga 2000. Video toaster, the whole 9 yards. It's like, he was just enamored with the idea of it. It's like, what are you doing with it? He's like, I don't know, it's just way cool. Costs a lot of money, too. And then, what was the, like the Amiga 4000, and they had the Genlocks. Used to work in the QC department at Packard Bell, man. I bet that was an interesting job. They had a 2-speed super wheel. Atari made computers too. Yeah, the Atari ST. The dirty secret about the Atari ST was its MIDI port wasn't compliant. Its MIDI port was a non-standard MIDI port. They either didn't read the MIDI spec correctly or didn't care. So the pins weren't exactly what the spec. I think 2 of the pins were reversed. So you had to get an Atari ST compatible MIDI port, which they very quickly figured it out. But yeah, you needed stuff that was compatible with the ST. That's what made it so compelling for the music production market. Was it had a MIDI port built right into it. Which, if you think about it, MIDI, 16 channels of discrete plus all kinds of note on, note off, note velocity, breath controller, expression controller data. In 1983, you know, it's pretty sick what they did with such a lightweight protocol, like MIDI. It's stunning. When you look back and you realize 16 discrete channels, I mean, come on. It's pretty good. Daisy chaining. You know, and it's not tied to a form factor. You can use MIDI over USB. It doesn't have to be the 5-pin DIN. So, you know, MIDI, they just came out with MIDI 2.0, but no one's adopted it yet. Failure rates were high. Packard Bell QC was, shall we say, woefully lacking. Yeah. They were too busy doing a tie-in with the guy who played Q on. Remember that? Remember when their first, I think P75s came out, P100s. Is it John Delancey, right? The guy who plays Q on Star Trek. They had a big promo with him. Where you'd start your Packard Bell up. And it would be like, welcome to your Packard Bell, but it would take it was on a CD, it would take forever. And I remember I had 2 megs of RAM. And he had 4 megs of RAM. Or I had 16 megs of RAM. That's what it was. I had 16 megs of RAM and he had 32 megs of RAM. And the 32 megs of RAM, it was like night and day at how fast those videos loaded. Like insane. John Delancey, yeah. I'm not wrong though, am I, Christopher? Right? Yeah, that's going back. You didn't think I was gonna Dumbledore and that shit right out on you. Oh, the days of auto exec bat. Oh my God, yeah. You work on your bat file? Oh my God, we used to write batch files. Yeah, I still write. I use a batch file. I have a batch file I use to kill OneDrive. It goes through, and every time OneDrive shows back up again, I just run this little batch file as an administrator, and it just cleans it all out. In fact, I have a nice little program that someone wrote. It's really good that resets my video, because every time I reboot my system, by design, the video cameras reset themselves. And so this just brings it back to my settings without having me have to go in there and set it individually. Yeah, early 90s sounds right. Used to love the summer Macworld shows in Boston, right? Macworld in Boston, right? Food in Little Italy was off the hook, yeah. The North End. I love bad files. They still come in handy to kill processors. They do. Or to just do, big jobs, right? Write up a quick batch file, if this, then that. Echo on, echo off. Config.sys. says. Yeah, I haven't really gotten into PowerShell. I'm still more of a DOS guy. Old habits die hard. What I find is that when you get into PowerShell, everything just gets so wordy, right? So many characters. Very verbose. What's up, Nelson? Oh, I remember the command prompt. I miss Clippy. Oh, Clippy. We hardly knew ye. Don't you remember at the very end, they were trying to bring Clippy back, and they were goofing on it, and they had Gilbert Gottfried do the voice of Clippy. We're bringing Clippy back. He's like, it looks like you're trying to write a letter. Like, oh, Clippy. Right? The three little people. Remember that episode of right, the big bad wolf, right? The big bad wolf. Right, you gotta get hot to play real cool, right? He blows himself up and goes to hell, right? Then he becomes a really good trumpet player, right? When people were scared of cookies. You should be scared of cookies. They're tracking your ass everywhere. Yeah, Alt F4 speeds up your computer. Oh my God, we used to just torture the people on the phone sometimes. They'd be like, because we'd call Dell for service. They'd be like, what does it say? I said, oh wait, now it's lighting up. It says formatting 1%. Oh wait, it just changed to 2%. They're like, seriously? Like, no, not seriously. It's still dead. What do you think? They'd be like, oh my God. Oh yeah, the flying toasters. Oh, I love the Star Trek one with the tribbles. Yeah, the Big Bad Wolf cartoon. Don't you remember that? The Big Bad Wolf. Right, the Cool Cats, right? Well, my gold top because you write another one. Yeah. These you can't get anymore, apparently, at least temporarily. Oh, thanks, Scar, my guitar. Thank you. The Three Little Bops. Yeah, the Three Little Bops, right. Three Little Bops. Right. The Three Little Bops. Right, it's a swing. That was like one of my favorite episodes for the longest time. Right, because he only gets good when he goes to hell. Gotta get hot to play real cool. Recently found a whole lot of Looney Tunes. Yeah, you know what? We were at Costco when Looney Tunes like first put out those big box sets, and I was like, oh, let's get them. And my kids just were like, meh. They love SpongeBob a lot more. They just, meh. I was like, he's kind of old. Like, you shut up right now. Yeah, it's like Jump, Jive, and Wail. Exactly, yeah, kind of like. Three Little Bops, yeah. That's when jazz was still relevant in pop culture. Well, that's what's so funny. It's like every generation, like, you know, my grandmother came from a time where she thought, you know, Chuck Berry was just kind of like jumping around like an idiot. And that, like, the real players were like, you know, Benny Goodman and Count Basie and the more serious, like, jazz players. When rock and roll came out, they're like, oh, it's just a bunch of idiots jumping around and screaming. Sound familiar? Then every generation thereafter just basically, oh, these guys, so they're not even singing. They removed a lot of the violence. They might have, yeah. So poor have to get an i5 i7 refurbished to run Pro Tools. You know what? There's a ton of them out there, though, and you really don't need... The only thing I would recommend is get one that's from like 20... I want to say... Is it 2015 or 2016? You want like Haswell or newer. Or is it Broadwell? I think it's Haswell or newer, right? Because it has AVX. That's all. AVX. Make sure it's got that instruction set, or some of the audio software won't work. SpongeBob is the man. you know. Let's sit around. Let's sit around the campfire and play a campfire song. That's CAMPFIRE. It's about this song. You don't think we can sing it faster than your own. You could just right, dominant 7. Do. Oh my God, 3D effects voodoo. Damn. How do you feel about Nirvana? You know, they, obviously created a genre, but when Nirvana came out, I was 26. Kind of out of the zone for being impressed by new bands. Kids loved Wile E. Coyote, but everything else was meh. Yeah, I guess the slapstick is easier to understand, right? Than some of the more adult jokes. Yeah, see, I think I got the box set too, uncensored. I want to say it felt like it was like everything in the kitchen sink. Scooby-Doo, is that 125? Scooby-Doo, where are you? You're the fan. Yeah, to the 5. Come on, Scooby-Doo, I see you. Forget the lyrics. And then the 4 chord. I think the 124 is all about that bass. 125 is all about that bass, and is it 134 is Your Lips Are Moving? A couple of those Meghan Trainor songs, same thing. That song's stuck in your head for hours. It happens. Bugs Bunny, never outsmarted. Ever played Music Man Luke 3? I have not. Gotta play more Music Man guitars. Quick Draw McGraw. Bubba Booey. Land of the Lost. Oh my God, that's a show I grew up with. Huge, you know. Well, thanks, Copperfield. But all about that bass, about that bass, about that bass. It's like 7 days a week for the Scooby-Doo episode with the Frozen Caveman. Oh my God, with the wah pedal. I remember the Frozen Caveman episode. Right, with the wah pedal. Yeah, they had a good band. It was probably friggin' Quincy Jones, for Christ's sakes. Right. Yeah, all about that bass, I think, is so if it depends on how just quick you honk on the chords, right? But if you just move through the chords faster, it becomes Scooby-Doo. It's probably the Wrecking Crew. That's probably, you're right. It probably was the Wrecking Crew. Yeah. One of your first crushes was on Linda Carter. Yeah, no, she had a look. Oh, she had a look. Oh, yeah, Hong Kong Phooey. Hong Kong Phooey. But I feel like, it's gonna be a good time. Feels like I'm mixing it with Fat Albert's theme. I got Hong Kong Phooey. I'm trying to think of it now. That was such a great show. I loved Hong Kong Phooey. And Secret Squirrel. Now, who was that supposed to be? Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. You know, Peter Lorre. Hong Kong Phooey. Number one super guy. Yeah, Hong Kong Phooey was the best. Love that show. Yeah, Peter Lorre was an actor that had a very distinctive voice. A lot of people copy his voice. And I think, yeah, Morocco. I think it was Morocco Mole, right? Monaco Mole? No, Morocco Mole. Captain Caveman. That was another good one. God, we had some good ones. Captain Caveman was good. And they kept reinventing Yogi Bear, right? Remember they had the one where it was like on their way to the perfect place and they had the stupid sky arc. It was like the weirdest plot line. Yeah, Speed Racer was always like, like the there was no movement, maybe like a blink. Ren was based on Peter Lorre as well. Sure, yeah. That makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, Inspector Gadget, that was around when I was a kid, too. I don't remember Space Ghost. I remember, was it Space Nuts? The one with Bob Denver and Ruth Buzzy. Yeah, Top Cat. Grape Ape. Jabberjaw. Oh, yeah, I remember those. Magilla Gorilla. Huckleberry Hound. Oh, the best is... You ever see Huckleberry Hound on The Simpsons? He's like doing like a behind the music sort of like look. And he's like going, he goes, I was so gay, but I couldn't tell anyone. I never laughed so hard in my life. Okay, so Ruth Buzzy was in Lost Saucer with Jim Neighbors. Okay. Bob Denver was with Chuck McCann. Okay, right. Yeah, the Laugh Olympics. Oh, my God. Boy, were we starved for friggin' shows. Bat, Fink, and Robin. Yeah, everyone says Space Ghost, but I don't remember Space Ghost. Snagglepuss. Yeah, Flintstones jumped the shark with Gazoo. Yeah, usually when they introduce a new character, right? You just got Cousin Olivered, right? Yeah, Behind the Laughter. The Behind the Laughter. Oh, so gay. It was so perfect, though. You know, with the hat and the vest, you know. Yeah, if Space Ghost was 90s, there's no way I'm going to know it. You know, in 1990, I was 24. Yeah, the Banana Splits, I remember that. And what was the one with Witchy Poo? Is that H.R. Puffin stuff? The kid was British. Hello. Little Jimmy. Yeah. Josie and the Pussycats. Josie and the Pussy. I remember that one. Space Ghost was not 90s? Okay. Does anybody remember Kimba the White Lion? You're going to need to be of a certain age to remember that one. With Bucky. I think it might have also been a Japanese cartoon. Deputy Dog, yeah. Oh, yeah, Deputy Dog. God, there were so many. Electro Woman and Dyna Girl. Oh, my God, my sister loved that. Oh, the special effects were so bad, too. Look up at Electro Woman and Dyna Girl. They have the trailer on YouTube. It's like just some of the hokiest friggin' special effects you'll ever see. Oh my God, it's so bad. Second vaccine today, feeling a little rough. Oh, damn. Feel better, man. Yes, Kimber that spun off the Speed Racer, yeah. Oh, yeah, Tennessee's Tuxedo. That was part of the Rocky and Bullwinkle series, right? Mr. Whoopi. Chumley. I don't remember Thai Private Eye, no. Peabody and Sherman, yeah. I feel like my eye is watering. Woody Woodpecker, yeah. Yeah, Quick Draw McGraw. I remember that one. Dudley Do-Right. Yeah. And then, of course, who was the blowhard who always had the big stories? Oh, God, I can't think of his name. There I was, you know. Yes, quite. Right. Probably part of the Tennessee Tuxedo, you know, and Rocky and Bullwinkle franchise, I think. He hated Woody Woodpecker, yeah. It's so early, though. It's all slapstick. Commander McBragg. Yeah, Krellbar got it. McBragg. Yeah. That is the correct answer. God, my eye is killing me here. Hold on. A little. I'm not going to pull. Yeah. I feel like I got something in it. My eyeball. Wacky Races. I kind of do remember the Wacky Races now that you mention that. Yeah. The Wacky Races. That was like, that's mid-70s. That's probably 76 or so. Speed Buggy. Oh my God, my sister loves Speed Buggy. I was never crazy about Popeye. I couldn't understand him. Could never really understand him. I feel like my eye is watering here. Dick Dastardly, Groovy Ghoulies. I do remember that. The Mr. T cartoon. I remember when Mr. T broke onto the scene. That was probably early 80s, right? Was he, when was the Mr. T? 81, 82? 82? Jabberjaw, Motley. Hey, Precious. That was a cartoon back then. That's all it did. They found a smoker. Right? The part of, he'll be played by Keith Richards. Mr. Magoo, I call my wife that all the time because she's always coming home with like fat-free, you know. I'm like, did you want fat-free half and half? She's like, oh no, sorry. Ah. Paul Lind, yeah, God. Get him, Scouts. Snidely Whiplash, right? Yeah. J.P. Morgan, Gong Show. Yeah, with the unknown comic, right? That brings me back to like 77. Chuck Barris. Yeah, see, you're from the 80s. I was out by 80. 1980, I'm 14. I don't really watch cartoons so much anymore. In fact, I went a period in the early 80s, I didn't really watch TV at all for like a couple of years. Oh, really? You went to a Gong Show taping in 77? Interesting. I used to love the Match Game. I loved Match Game. Have a good one, Michael. Thanks for hanging out. Channel 38 or 56. You know, a little bit of one, a little bit of the other. You know, they couldn't. 38 and 56 got some, but they were, you know, you got to remember, those are little independent stations. I think you had to get to network TV to get the meat stuff, and then later on you'd get like the 56 and 38. You know, we're coming out with more syndicated stuff, right? I don't really remember the Beatles cartoons. Not really. Other than Yellow Submarine. Spent the summer in LA in 77, the first year Space Mountain opened. Yeah, I remember when Space Mountain opened. What was was it Race to Witch Mountain? What was the Disney movie that they had that they actually wound up doing a remake, but it wasn't as good. But I just remember was it Race to Witch Mountain? Yeah, the movie Loft with Dana Hersey. The movie Loft. God, he was so good. Dana was a good guy. Return to Witch Mountain. Escape from Witch Mountain. Escape to Witch Mountain. It's one of those. Escape from Witch Mountain. It's something about Witch Mountain. And they were witches, right? The two kids. Race, and then they did return to Witch Mountain. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so the first one was Escape, and then the second one was Return. Yeah, that sounds right. Do you like the fretboard on the Harley Benton better than the classic of the white LP? To be honest, I can't really feel fretboards when I play them. I don't know that I really ever say, like, oh, I like this fretboard better than another fretboard. I mean, it looks good. It's dark. I think it sort of matches it. But I don't really... I can't really... I mean, my left hand is so calloused, I don't really feel the fretboard. Well, it's 9 p.m. I think we're going to call it a night. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out. I have a new pedal coming this week. Oh, my God. In fact, I meant to give a shout-out, and I did not give a shout-out, and I want to give a big shout-out right now. In fact, we're going to go, this is a little overtime. We're going in overtime. On 420, Keeley, the amazing Robert Keeley at Keeley Electronics, put out a special 420 version of the pedal The Dark Side called The Dank Side, and with purple cush knobs and all the graphics you would expect from a boutique product. And it went so friggin' quick. It sold out in like seconds. And so I texted my contact at Keeley. I was like, you still over at Keeley? He's like, yeah. And I was like, dude, oh, that pedal's so bad. He's like, all right, calm down, you big blubbering idiot. No, he was looking. He goes, let me see what I can do. And I said, okay. And it took a couple of days. And, thanks, Copperfield. We used to open our shows playing Pipeline before sliding in the Munchers theme song. It's awesome. So the Dark Side is one of their best pedals ever. It really is. It's like such an amazing pedal. So he's took a couple of days. He got back to me. He goes, dude, I found you one. I got you one of the limited edition Dank Sides. I'm going to send it out to you next week. And he's like, could you just give us a shout out? And I forgot to give the shout out. I knew I should have wrote that down. But this week it'll be here. We'll do an unboxing next week. And we will look at the Keeley Dank Side. Maybe we can plug it in and check it out and listen to it a little bit. Just wanted to give a massive shout out to my friends at Keeley to say thank you. You're freaking awesome. And I can't believe I forgot about it earlier in the show, but better late than never. And next week we'll have something to unbox. That's always awesome. And there you go. All right, guys. Now I'm going to sign off. Now I feel like I got that out. Thank God I remembered. I would have been so bummed if I forgot to mention it. So, all right, dudes. See you in a week for the unboxing, the unboxation of the Dank Side limited edition. Completely sold out, but we will get to open it and look at it. I think it's in Sergeant Stadenko green. So we'll check it out. All right, dudes. No, you rock. Super thanks to anyone who contributed tonight. I really appreciate it. Extra super thanks to my mod squad. You guys rock. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you in a week. No, you rock. All right. I'll see you then. Until then, rock on.